I'm Michael Gilroy, and I'm the host of the Doctor Who Tin Dog podcast, which can be found at www.tin-dog.co.uk. Welcome to the new Tin Dog podcast, number 91. This time I'm going to be covering Planet of the Dead. Well, it's been a while since it was on TV and the DVD's just come out, so now that the dust has settled and the immediate reaction has faded away, we can look at it more objectively. Well, at least I'll try to. But before I start reviewing this latest instalment of the 10th Doctor's Time, I just want to thank everyone who emailed me saying how much they enjoy the Big Finish reviews I've been doing of late, so they really aren't going to end or fade away. I will, of course, try to keep those shows more boxed together, but enough of that sort of nonsense. Planet of the Dead. I know from some of the feedback I've been receiving that a lot of you enjoyed my time reviewing this show immediately after it had been on as part of the WhoCast. I hope to be able to return to WhoCast in future and help out on those immediate reaction shows whenever Doctor Who airs. But as the next show isn't on until November-ish, and you just know that I'm holding out for my October the 31st, which happens to be a Saturday, Halloween scary Doctor Who story to watch the waters of Mars, slightly more than most people. Well, that's fine. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to give a slightly more reasoned opinion. And to be honest, my opinion still kind of sticks the same. It's a decent enough story, and if it was part of a main season, I would have no true issues with it. The story, of course, has holes which occur to you in the following hours, where you go, hang on, why didn't they just push the TARDIS through the wormhole and thus allow them to escape, especially if they knew where it was? The Doctor could have told them where it was on the phone. Yeah, these things, well, you know. It's usually best if we don't think about them. I mean, it's not as if the Doctor's meant to be some sort of hyper-intelligent alien. Another gripe with the story, and trust me, they're just small gripes, is the low-level psychic woman. Now, apparently there's a new system for sorting out psychics, and it's called the Lotto system. If someone is capable of predicting 3 numbers every week, they're low-level psychics, similar to perhaps the Ood. It doesn't allow them to be psychic enough to know not to get on a bus going to another world. It allows them to talk in a strange, spooky manner. Again, it doesn't actually prevent them from getting themselves into danger. There are, of course, much higher levels of psychics, who I'm sure could predict, say, 4 lottery numbers every week, but surely Camelot would notice such a thing. And perhaps that's only the Saturday draw, rather than the Saturday and the Wednesday. What she could do, of course, is concentrate really hard, and manage to come out with, say, the Euro Billions lottery, or whatever it's called these days. Have I drifted? I guess I have. Moving on. My biggest gripe, by far in this story, of course, is Lady What's-Her-Face. Bionic Woman. Yeah, I know she'll always be a Slater to me, and that's my problem. I still can't help myself from pigeonholing people. She'll always be a Slater to me. She won't even truly be the Bionic Woman. I wasn't taken with her performance. I really wasn't taken with her character. And she just kind of jarred a little bit. She annoyed me. I know that in the original plans for Doctor Who, when the 7th Doctor became the 8th Doctor, and this is part of the original run, this would happen, say, the early 90s. The plans were to have Ace leave the Doctor and become a trainee Time Lord. Again, Time Lord being a rank rather than a race. Yeah, we don't need to go there. And then the next companion would be, played by Julia Sawala, well, she was penciled in anyway, who would be a cat burglar. Many of the traits seem to have survived over from the original treatment for this particular character. I'm not sure that would work. I'm not sure it wouldn't work. But that's fine. Questions will still arise when it comes to things like, why would Unit called rather than Torchwood if you're trying to push the new Torchwood spin-off series, the mini-series, The Children of Smurfs or something? I'm not quite sure what it's called. I know it's on at some point. Possibly when some people are leaving the country in order to climb mountains, but perhaps not. To push the 2 guys from the bus who seem to have lost... I'm not trying to speak for anyone. I'm just some guy talking about Doctor Who, and you're just someone who listens. It's just an audio blog. It's really not worth getting that excited about. So no matter what people say, I'm definitely not the voice of fandom.
WhoCast listeners are also Tin Dog listeners as well. It's always a pleasure to listen to what he has to say, because he really makes you think.
Besides you, obviously, Trev, and me perhaps sometimes, I think Tin Dog is the voice of Doctor Who.
Oh, yes, yes. You
He's
can
the
just
man.
imagine, yeah. If Doctor Who had a voice of opinion, then Tin Doggy is the one. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, what was that? A section from the WhoCast? Yeah, let's just leave it there, shall we? Crashing on. Once upon the 80s dreary, while I watched, all weak and weary, over many quaint and curious VHS of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitantly, then no longer. "Sir," I said, "oh, madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was watching television when you came rapping, and so, faintly, you came tapping at my chamber door. That I scare, sure I heard you. Here I open wide the door. Michael Grade! And nothing more." Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was whispering the words, "Doctor Who, no more." This I whispered, and an echoed, murmured back the words, "Doctor Who, no more?" Merely this, and nothing more. Much I marvelled this ungainly fellow here discourse so plainly, though its answered little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help aggrieving that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing Grade at his chamber door. Man or beast, above the head of Pertwee, above his chamber door. With such vehemence came this word again, "Nevermore." "Prophet," I said, "thing of evil, prophet still, if BBC director or devil, whether temper sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there no hope for my Time Lord? Tell me, I implore." Laughed the controller, "Nevermore." With these words he flew away, and the BBC, never failing, still sitting on the rights evermore, still plotting, scheming, waiting upon a man to rap at my chamber door. And this man, let's call him Russell, his eyes are dreaming of his common myths. And the new controller will hold promise, dreams of blue lights still a-flashing. And my soul rises from that shadow that lies floating on the floor. Doctor Who, forevermore. You have been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are all trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Contact us at tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk.